What's up, guys? All right, in the video where I went over all the features of the Lexus NX350, I told you we'd take your first drive in another video. We're going to do that right now. I've made a few videos on this vehicle today, be put up throughout the week, and we're going to get into the first drive. I didn't want that video to be a little bit too long, so I decided to do a second video. So let's get behind the steering wheel, see what I think. Okay, guys, here's the dash lighting up right here. Of course, you do have push button start over here, and this is what your dash looks like in the eco mode. Now, I do want to show you this. I think this is pretty cool. You have this little shifter here. I talked about this in the other vehicle or other video, but I didn't actually put it in here and show you. If you push this over and pull back, you can see drive lights up. If you push forward, you can see reverse lights up. And if you push park, it goes back into park. If you have it in drive and then you want to manually do it, you can actually do it here with your paddle shifters, or you can manually change it with your steering or your selector knob right here for your drive with your manual mode front and back. Okay, now first of all, I do want to say something I've noticed with this vehicle, and it's very, very noticeable, is that it takes a lot of gas to get this thing going. It's like the gas pedal is heavy. And I can directly compare this to like a Jeep Wrangler. A Jeep Wrangler is the same identical way. It's like it has a heavy spring on the gas pedal, and it just makes it a little stiffer to actually push the gas. Again, this is an example of one. I don't know that all of them do this, but I have noticed that on this one, the gas pedal takes a little bit of force to actually get the vehicle going. You have to push it a little bit. You think it would start moving, and it doesn't start moving. I don't think that's an issue with the vehicle. I just wanted to note that. Again, it's a little sluggish in my opinion, but I'll take sluggish over non-reliable any day of the week. I don't need a car or a little SUV that's going to go 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. I need a vehicle or an SUV that's going to make it to Florida in 9 hours and get me there, and know I'm going to make it there. So I want to put that out there right now. I do, as I said in the Mercedes video, feel like this is more sluggish than the Mercedes, but I do feel like it's more reliable. When the turbos come in, you do have ample power. I mean, I'm not saying it's so sluggish that you can't get out of the way of something. I'm just saying it just doesn't feel as fast as that dual clutch transmission. Now, I probably chose a horrible road to take this on for the first drive because, well, there's a lot of traffic. But you can see right there when that turbo kicks in, it kicks in and you have ample power to get out of the way of whatever's coming your direction. The steering is tight. I do like that. I do like the tight steering. I don't want something real loose. Whereas when you turn the steering wheel, you have to turn it halfway around the column to actually get it to move. You definitely do not have the problem with this car. When you turn the steering wheel, it takes a little bit of effort, and when you let go, it returns to center. That's what I want. I don't want a vehicle that takes little effort to turn, and when I let go of it, I just keep going right. I want something that when I turn the steering wheel, I'm going that direction, and then it returns to neutral whenever I let go of it. Smoothness of this vehicle is incredible. When you're driving along, I've hit bumps in this and stuff like that. There's some bumps right here I'm hitting, and you just don't even hardly feel it. This thing just rides so smooth. Now, when you put it in sport mode, you can feel it a little more, of course, because you get that stiffer suspension. But in eco mode, smooth, just smooth as glass. Actually smoother than the Mercedes was, in my opinion. The interior is super quiet. You don't get any road noise. You don't get very little outside noise at all. It just dampens everything. Lexus did an incredible job with noise dampening in this vehicle. It's almost eerily quiet. I want to say that, but in a good way. Again, I can't say enough about how well it rides. We actually took a trip to the other day to Knoxville, which is probably a couple hours away from me, and on the rough road, if you've ever drove down 40, there's potholes and all kinds of stuff down through there. Hitting those potholes, it dampened it. You know, my Camry, I hit them in it, and you feel every bump in that road. This just kind of absorbed them. And there again, I hate to keep comparing it to Mercedes because I have a video about that that's coming up. And it just did a better job than the Mercedes in dampening road bumps and stuff like that. Just a much smoother ride, in my opinion. The steering wheel is fat, and I like that. I don't like a thin steering wheel. I can't get as good a grip on it, and it just feels better to have a thicker steering wheel. And leave all the jokes out of the comment section, but it feels better to have a thicker steering wheel to hold on to so that you can, you know, not get so fatigued on your hand. I have large hands, and the thin steering wheels, my hand just gets wrapped around it a little more, and it just seems to fatigue my hands on longer trips. And the steering wheel on this feels a whole lot better than like it does in my Camry. One thing I do not like about the steering wheel, I wish it had a larger hole down here. When I go on long trips, I actually hold down there just to kind of give my hand kind of a neutral location to hold on to. And it's a little bit harder to do so with this because I have to split my fingers. And I prefer just that whole bottom place to be open so that I do not have to do that. But overall, as far as ride quality and power, I think the ride quality is right up there with any vehicle, and the power is ample enough to get you where you need to go and be satisfied when you get there and not feel like you've been lacking along the way. Hey guys, I want to throw this at the end. I've been messing around with the vehicle a little bit, and I've got it in sport S mode right now, and the throttle is way more responsive. I wouldn't have thought it made that big a difference, so I wanted to throw this in at the end. But it is way more responsive. I know at the beginning I talked about how you had to give it a lot of throttle. In an eco mode, that does seem to be the case. But if you put it in Sport S, it's a way different driving vehicle. Way. Like, in eco mode, if you give it a lot of gas, it changes gears a little bit weird, in my opinion. It feels like it changes gears almost twice. It's weird how it feels. In Sport Plus, it is not that way. You hit the throttle, it goes. In Sport Plus, it's probably a lot closer to the speed of the Mercedes than it is in Eco. Now, in the Eco and the Mercedes, it still felt like, compared to Eco to this, still felt like this in Sport Plus mode. But you do have to put this in Sport Plus mode to get that feeling that you had in the Mercedes. It still don't change the gears as quick and stuff like that, but it is a different vehicle, and I wanted to throw that in here just to kind of let you guys know if that had you freaked out a little bit. When I put it in Sport Plus and I played around with it, I was like, you don't have to give it the gas that you had to give it in eco mode to get it going. So don't let that hold you back. Just drive it in Sport Plus all the time. Have a feeling that will affect your fuel economy, definitely, because eco, you know, is going to get you better fuel economy, and you're not going to get that 24 to 25 mile a gallon, but it's going to be a lot more fun vehicle. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I love you guys. See you next time.